She came home at 3 a.m., smelling like him. I gave her 15 minutes to pack and get out. She laughed, until I showed her the photos. The door unlocked at 3:07 a.m. I didn't look up. I already knew it was her. Keys sliding against metal. The quiet click of the deadbolt. A pause, like she was listening, like criminals do when they enter a room that used to belong to them. I sat at the dining table with the lights off. Only the glow of my laptop illuminated the room. Soft blue light, cold light, the kind of light that makes people look guilty. She stepped inside slowly. Her heels were in her hand. Barefoot. Careful. Quiet. That was the first lie of the night. People who have nothing to hide don't move like thieves in their own homes. Her perfume reached me before her voice did. But it wasn't only her perfume. There was something else, something masculine. Cologne. Sharp, expensive. Not mine. I had smelled it before, just not on her skin. She froze when she saw the laptop glow. Then she saw me. Her shoulders relaxed immediately. Too quickly. "Oh, you're still awake?" Her voice was light. Casual. Practiced. I closed the laptop slowly. The sound echoed in the silence. Click. For a moment we just looked at each other. 10 years of marriage standing between us like a corpse nobody wanted to acknowledge. Her hair was messy. Lipstick faded. Eyes slightly unfocused. And that smell. Still clinging to her neck. To her clothes. To the lies she thought I hadn't noticed. I stood up. Walked past her. Stopped beside the hallway. Then I said it. Calmly. Flat. "You have 15 minutes. She frowned. "For what?" I looked at her like a stranger. "To pack." Silence. Then she laughed. A real laugh. Loud. Mocking. Like the entire situation was absurd. Like I was a child throwing a tantrum. "Pack what?" "Your things." Another laugh. "Are you serious right now?" I looked at the clock on the wall. 3:09 a.m. The seconds ticked slowly. Then I said the words that changed her expression forever. 14 minutes. She leaned against the wall. Still smiling. Still amused. Like this was a joke she hadn't quite understood yet. "You're drunk," she said. "I don't drink." But she needed a reason. People like her always do. Her eyes moved across the room, looking for signs, evidence, anything that would explain why the quiet man she had lived with for 10 years suddenly looked like someone she didn't recognize. "You're being dramatic," she said. I didn't respond. Just watched. Every movement, every blink, every micro-expression. When you suspect betrayal, you start studying people the way detectives study crime scenes. Small details become loud. The missing wedding ring she quickly slid back onto her finger. The message notification she muted without looking. The way she avoided my eyes when she walked toward the kitchen. "I'm getting water," she said. She didn't need water. She needed distance. Time. Space to think. I followed her slowly. The kitchen light flicked on. She poured water into a glass. Her hand trembled slightly. That was new. She finally looked at me again. Her expression shifted. Concern. Softness. The same performance she had perfected over years. "What's going on with you tonight?" I stared at the glass in her hand. Her lipstick mark was still fresh. Dark red, but slightly smudged. Not the way lipstick smudges from talking. The way it smudges when mouths collide, when skin presses against skin, when secrets breathe against someone else's neck. "You're late," I said. She shrugged. "Girls' night." "Of course. Girls' night. The oldest lie in the book." "What girls?" I asked. "Emily, Sarah, Jess." 3 names. Too quick. Too rehearsed. The mind does strange things when it lies. It fills silence with unnecessary details. I nodded slowly. Then walked past her. Back to the dining table. Opened the laptop again. She followed. Confusion growing behind her eyes now. "Why are you acting like this?" "Because I know. Because I've known for weeks. Because the man who smells like cedarwood cologne keeps liking your photos at 2 a.m. Because your phone lights up when you shower. Because secrets always leave fingerprints." But I didn't say any of that. Instead, I said something simpler. Something colder. "You have 12 minutes. Her smile disappeared. Now she was irritated. Angry. "Enough with this bullshit." I looked up at her. Really looked. And for the first time in 10 years, I saw someone I didn't love. Just a stranger wearing my wife's face. The truth didn't arrive tonight. Truth rarely does. Truth arrives slowly, quietly, like mold spreading behind walls. You don't see it at first, but you smell it. Weeks ago, something changed. Not something dramatic. Something subtle. She started guarding her phone. locking the bathroom door when she showered, smiling at texts she never explained. People think betrayal is explosive. It isn't. It's quiet, careful, strategic, like cancer. I didn't confront her then. Confrontation is emotional. Emotion is sloppy. And sloppy people lose. Instead, I watched, observed, waited. The first piece of the puzzle arrived on a Tuesday. She fell asleep on the couch. Phone in her hand. Unlocked. People always think their biggest mistake will be something big. But betrayal dies in small details. I picked up the phone. Opened the messages. One name kept repeating. Daniel. At first, the messages were innocent. Work talk, jokes, memes. Then slowly, the tone shifted. Inside jokes, late-night conversations, photos, a heart emoji, then another, then silence between messages. The dangerous kind. The kind where things are said in person. I didn't wake her. I didn't scream. I didn't even breathe differently. I just memorized everything. Dates, times, patterns. The next day I checked phone records. Phone companies keep beautiful histories. Numbers don't lie. Hundreds of calls. Late nights. Lunch breaks. Weekends. A second life hidden between digits. Still, I waited, because suspicion isn't truth. Evidence is, so I followed the pattern. 3 weeks of observation. She worked late every Thursday, except she didn't. She met him. Same restaurant. Same table near the window. I watched from across the street. He was taller than me. Confident. The kind of man who doesn't check over his shoulder. The kind who thinks he's winning. He touched her hand. She didn't pull away. That was the moment something inside me died. Not violently, quietly, like a candle suffocating. But I still didn't confront her. Because anger is temporary. Truth is permanent. So I hired someone. A private investigator. Old man. Ex-police. Calm eyes. He didn't ask questions. He just nodded. Give me a week. He needed 4 days. On the 5th day, he handed me a folder. Inside it, photographs. Clear. Detailed. Merciless. Her entering his apartment. Her leaving the next morning. Her kissing him outside a restaurant. Her laughing in ways she hadn't laughed with me in years. Proof. Cold. Unarguable. Truth printed on glossy paper. That's when I made the plan. And waited for the right night. Tonight, she crossed her arms. You're being insane. I slid the laptop toward her. 11 minutes. She rolled her eyes. You're not kicking me out of my own house. I opened the folder. Slowly, carefully, every movement deliberate. Then I pulled out the first photograph. Placed it on the table. She didn't look. Not yet. People instinctively avoid truth. What is this? She asked. Look. She sighed dramatically, then glanced down. And the world stopped. The color drained from her face instantly. Her pupils widened. Her lips parted slightly. That small, fragile moment when a lie dies. The photo showed her, standing outside his apartment. His hand on her waist. Her mouth inches from his. The timestamp glowed in the corner. 2 weeks ago. She didn't speak. Just stared. I placed the second photo down. Her leaving his building the next morning. Hair messy. Same clothes. Same smile she used to give me. Her breathing changed. Fast. Sharp. No, she whispered. Then the third photo. Her kissing him outside a restaurant. Her hand inside his jacket. Intimate. Hungry. Unmistakable. She stepped back from the table. Like the photos might bite her. This isn't... I spoke quietly. You have 9 minutes. Her head snapped toward me. Tears forming instantly now. You hired someone to follow me? Interesting. Not denial. Just outrage. People reveal themselves in the order they choose their arguments. She didn't say the photos were fake. She said I shouldn't have them. That's insane, she shouted. I nodded. Yes. Silence filled the room again. Heavy, oppressive. Then she said the inevitable words. It's not what it looks like. I almost smiled. 10 years together, and she still underestimated me. She grabbed the photos, flipping through them frantically. Like the truth might rearrange itself if she moved fast enough. Tears now. Real ones. You're spying on me? No, I corrected softly. I confirm something. She shook her head. You don't understand. Of course, I never understand. That's always the script. It just happened. 4 words. 4 pathetic words people use to describe calculated betrayal. I looked at the clock. 3:18 a.m. 6 minutes. She slammed the photos down. You're overreacting. I tilted my head slightly. Overreacting. Interesting word. I reached into my pocket, pulled out my phone, opened a message thread, then turned the screen toward her. Another photo. Her, Daniel, inside his apartment, taken through the window, his arms around her waist, her kissing his neck. The smell I noticed earlier suddenly made sense. She stared at the phone, then at me, then back at the phone. You had someone watching us? 3 weeks. Her legs weakened. She sat down slowly, like gravity suddenly doubled. Why didn't you say anything? Because predators reveal themselves when they think the cage door is open. But I didn't explain that. Instead, I stood, walked to the hallway, opened the front door. Cold night air spilled inside. I looked back at her. 4 minutes. She cried now. Full breakdown. I made a mistake. Yes, she did, but not the one she thought. Her mistake wasn't cheating. Her mistake was believing I was blind, or weak, or stupid. I'll end it, she said desperately. I promise. I shook my head slowly. You already did. Her suitcase rolled across the wooden floor, wheels rattling, echoing through the house that used to belong to both of us. Now it belonged only to silence. She stood by the door, eyes swollen, hair messy, a stranger. You're really doing this, she whispered. I leaned against the wall, watching, observing, studying the wreckage like an archaeologist examining ruins. I didn't do this, I said quietly. You did. She searched my face for something. Anger, pain, sadness. But I had buried those things weeks ago. Grief loses power when it meets preparation. You'll regret this, she said softly. Maybe not. But regret is lighter than humiliation. She opened the door. Cold air flooded the hallway again. Then she turned back. One last attempt. Did you ever love me? I thought about that. Really thought. Then nodded. Yes. Her eyes softened. Hope flickered. Then I finished the sentence. But I loved who I thought you were. Silence. Heavy. Final. She stepped outside. The door closed behind her. The lock clicked. And the house exhaled. I walked back to the dining table. Looked at the photographs one last time. Then slid them back into the folder. Truth has weight. But once you carry it long enough, it becomes light. I turned off the lights. Stood alone in the dark. And for the first time in weeks, I could finally breathe. Because betrayal doesn't destroy you. It only reveals who was never yours to begin with.